Hi, and welcome to your practice today. For this practice, I think the only two things that you're going to need are your cushion. So grab a cushion from your space and also a blanket. And the blanket is for putting underneath your knees or over your body. And I'll let you know when the time is right for those two props as well. So we're going to start just in a seated position. You can cross your legs or have your legs out straight. And we'll start by taking our hands somewhere onto our legs. So usually when we're placing our palms towards the ground, we're directing that energy towards the earth. So if you've got a lot going on in your head, for example, if you feel overwhelmed or stressed at the moment, we're directing that additional energy down towards the earth to give it away. So this is our giving hand position. And then palms up towards the sky if we're inviting energy in. So we're receiving. So maybe you're feeling a little bit unmotivated at the moment, or tired, or just kind of down, or you feel maybe heavy, and you're just looking for that light energy, that uplifting energy. We're inviting that energy in. Perfect. So, closing down the eyes, once you've found a position for your hands to be placed, you can also take your thumb and index finger together, just the tips of the fingers rather than the fingernails, the pads, closing them towards each other. And your other fingers are just out straight towards the ground. Close down your eyes. Feel your heart space lift towards the sky, and we're pressing our legs down into the ground. So you can feel your sit bones against your cushion or against your mat or against your block. Maybe you're sitting on a block today or a bolster, whatever you have available, or even a chair is perfect for these first few moments of our practice. Feeling your sit bones underneath you, connected to the earth. Feel your legs, your feet, your toes, your heels, whatever parts of the legs are connected to the ground as well. Maybe you feel the hands against your knees or against your thighs. And then we'll start to bring our attention to our facial muscles. So, really important to keep the face relaxed. A lot of the time, without us even realizing, we've got our eyebrows up towards the forehead or scrunched or squinted. And we're creating peace and calm through our entire body during our class, during our movement practice, during our presence practice. So we start here with the body, connecting to the body, meaning that we can observe the body, go around the body to the different parts, so our sit bones, our feet, our legs, our face, and then inviting softness, inviting relaxation. So releasing through the shoulders towards the ground, allow your hands to be heavy, your arms to be heavy. And then let's take our first conscious, aware breath in. So we're focusing our attention to our breath, starting to notice how it feels. Where do you feel the breath going? What muscles are moving when you're breathing? And then sometimes it's helpful to place a hand over your belly, maybe one hand over your heart center. And these hands are going to act as our guide for where the breath is going. So on the next breath in, see if you can push your tummy first into that hand. And then you're noticing this kind of spreading sensation across your chest as well. And then exhale, let the breath go. So letting the breath out, bring your tummy in towards the spine, allow your heart center to fall downwards. Let's take 3 more breaths just like this, inhaling through the nose. And exhale, release your breath out and also relax your shoulders, relax your eyes, your eyebrows, anything that tensed up as we breathed it in the last time. Breathing in long and slow. And then same on our exhale, long, slow breath out. So let's take 3 more breaths in our own time with our own natural breath cycle. You can keep your hands on your body if you like, or you can bring them towards the legs. Last breath here together. Bring your hands together in front of your heart center, thumbs against your chest, inviting an intention in for your practice today. So how would you like to feel as you move? How would you like to feel at the end of your class when you're going into the rest of your day or your evening or your morning, whatever time it is that you're practicing? How would you like to feel? What's the intention behind you being here? Once you've decided on a word or a sentence, take a deep breath in. Bring your chin towards your fingertips. Thank yourself for rolling out your mat today, for stepping on it, for sitting on it, for being here and practicing with me. Thank your space for supporting your practice, for being here for you to practice in. Your home, your living room, whatever room you're practicing in. Just sending out some warmth and some gratitude to it. Thank your mat for supporting your practice as well. And we'll thank yoga too. So for existing so we can share this moment together. Start to blink your eyes open, raise your gaze. We'll begin in our seated position. So we're going to stay here. And just place your right hand towards the ground. Take your left hand to the sky, breathing in. So we're elongating on every breath in that we take. And then on our exhalation, lean over towards that right side. Reaching with your left fingertips over towards the right side of your mat. Turning your heart space up towards the sky. You can use the hand on the ground to help you in this movement. And with your next exhalation, see if you can bend your right elbow a little bit more. Inhale, coming back up. Walk your left hand over. Pull your right shoulder back. Lift your right hand to the sky. And then on your next exhalation, we're starting to lean over towards the left side this time. Sometimes our shoulder gets a little bit stuck when we bring it over the head. So if that's the case for you, feel free to take a semicircle. So we're just moving into the joint a little bit differently, or perhaps behind the back of your neck is comfortable for your hand to rest, or onto your heart center, or even you can keep it here on the right knee if that's better for you. Take another breath in. So this pose is all about this side body, all the way from our shoulder down the side body towards the hip. So you might be able to feel that lengthening sensation against your hip or side body, or even your arm if it's over your ear. Take a breath in, come back up. Take your right hand behind you, your left hand onto the opposite knee, and then just push into your back hand. Lift upwards through your spine. On your next exhalation, gentle twist towards the right side. So we could look over towards that right knee in that direction, or behind the right shoulder if that feels good. Using the hand this time on your leg to help with that gentle twist, even a little bit more if there's room. And then come back to center. Left hand behind, right hand opposite knee. Inhale, lift up through your heart, straightening up through the spine as if someone's pulling up your head towards the ceiling. And then as we breathe out the next time, we're finding that twist. So thinking of twisting as releasing stress in the back, in the shoulders, in the hips. Come back to center as you breathe in the next time. And then find your way into your hands and knees. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. This is a perfect time to take your cushion or your blanket underneath the knees. And we're having the knees hip width distance apart, so underneath your hip bones, so not completely together. On your next inhale, drop your tummy down. So we're starting to bring an arch through the spine. Press down with your hands into the mat so you lift up out of your shoulders. And you can decide if you'd like to look down in between the thumbs, or forward, or up towards the sky. Notice what changes if we're lifting our head up. For me, it feels like I'm getting a little bit more of this opening all along the front of my body. So my chest, my tummy. And there might be a sensation in your back as well. One more breath in. Exhale, round your spine. So keep pushing the mat away with your hands in your knees. This time, bring your middle back towards the sky. Tuck your chin into your chest. We'll take one more breath like this. Well done. Let's start moving with our breath. So inhale, drop the tummy down, arch the back. Exhale, round the back. Inhale to arch, moving with your breath. Exhale as we round. So without my voice, keep going. We'll go for 2 more breaths. 2 more full inhales and exhales. And then coming back to your neutral tabletop position, tuck your toes, press your bum back towards your heels, and then start to lift your knees off the ground. Flatten your hands into the floor, press your hips away from your hands. You can have a bend in your knees. We're looking back towards the feet, and you can start to lift one heel off the ground at a time. So this is called pedaling out the legs or walking your dog, because we're in downward facing dog, and moving through the legs, moving through the knees, moving through the ankles. The back stays the same, so we're trying to find this really long spine here. And this is why we push our mat forward with our hands, and we try and push our hips away from the hands. Bringing a little bit more motion through the hamstrings. From here, stop your pedaling, look forward, and start to walk to the top of your mat. So it doesn't matter how many steps you take. Could be 1, could be 2, could be multiple, until you arrive all the way at the top of your mat with your feet hip-width distance apart. Drop your head completely down to the ground, bend your knees, hold on to opposite elbows, and then let's start to move and sway from side to side. So this is our ragdoll pose. I'd like for you to just start nodding your head as if you're saying yes. Yes, I'm doing this for myself. I'm giving my body some love today. Keep thinking about your breath, particularly if there's any thoughts trying to pull you out of your mat or off your mat. We can stop nodding the head, drop your hands towards the ground, keep your back rounded and your chin tucked into your chest as you come up to stand really, really slowly. Think about breathing in as you move up into a standing position. Perfect. We can keep the feet as they are, hip width distance apart, and our hands next to our hips. Think about pushing your hips forward, so lengthening through the fronts of our hips, and roll the shoulders back, bringing them away from the ears. Press through the feet. Lift up nice and tall through the whole body. Take your hands up towards the sky, looking up, breathing in. Exhale, find that forward fold. So bend the knees once again. This time, rather than holding on to opposite elbows, we're just allowing them to dangle down towards the ground or touch the floor. Chin tucking into our chest. Hands come onto our shins. Straighten your back as you lift up halfway. So halfway between a stand and halfway between a forward fold. And we're thinking about pressing our hips back. So you can do this with your legs straight or with your knees bent. And the crown of the head is moving away from where the hips are. This is our halfway lift or lifting up halfway. Breathing in once again, we'll come back through that forward fold. Exhale, bring your tummy to your thighs, drop your head. Inhale, hands onto your shins again, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold forward. 2 more times. Inhale, half lift. Try and find length all the way through the spine, and then exhale, fold forward. We try to keep the back straight, so we do this by bending the knees. Inhale, last time, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs. This time as we inhale, lifting up halfway. On the exhale, we're going to take our hands completely towards the ground, step back into your plank, and find a plank. So if you notice that your hips are really up like in downward facing dog, we're going to drop them. If you notice that you're starting to arch your back, we want to push the hips up. So we find this neutral position, this straight, strong position. You're pushing your palms into the floor and lifting up out of your shoulders like we did in downward facing dog. Try and push your heels towards the back of your mat. Look forward. So not completely forward, we're still looking on the ground. And we're looking for a drishti. So anytime we're in a balanced posture like now, or any challenging positions like now as well, look for a focal point, your drishti. And I'll say this word multiple times during today's practice. Take another breath in. On the exhale, knees come down and then drop all the way down onto your tummy, onto your chest. Untuck your toes so the tops of the feet are on the floor. Hands are next to your chest. Roll your shoulders towards the back of your mat. Tuck your elbows in. And then start to press your hips and your feet into the floor as you feel your heart center lifting off the ground. And we try to bring our heart space forward, so in front of the mat, to try and create more length through the spine. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release and drop down. We're going to do that a few more times. Inhale, find your baby cobra. This is called baby cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale for baby cobra. One way we can check if we're doing our baby cobra correctly, we're using the strength of our back only, not the hands. You're going to take your hands off the mat. And then exhale, come back down. You can drop your hands. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, press your hips into the floor, lift your heart. Exhale, come back down, tuck your toes, come up onto your knees in tabletop. Readjust so that your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. And then start to push up into your downward facing dog again. Feet are hip width distance apart. We're looking back towards the feet and then bending through the knees, pushing your hips away from your hands, bringing your armpits towards the ground. Push your palms forward into the mat. So think about your hips and your hands moving away from each other. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. So really palms flat on the floor and push your mat forward with them. From here, come up onto your tippy toes, look forward, and then let's start to walk or step to the top of our mat. Feet are together or hip width distance apart. Once you arrive, take your hands onto your shins, lifting up halfway. Breathing in. Exhale, folding forward. Press through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky, taking your hands up, looking up. Exhale, drop your hands to your heart center and alongside your hip. So this is our sun salutation A, or it's called in Sanskrit Surya Namaskar A, and it's used to warm up all the muscles, all the joints in the body before we get into our standing flow or standing sequence. So let's do that 2 more times. We're going to move with our breath this time, so it might feel a little bit faster, but your body knows where it's going. Starting in that mountain pose, this strong, engaged pose, press your hips forward, roll the shoulders back, bring your hands down to the ground. Inhale, lift your arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, come into your plank. Take a breath in plank. And then exhale, drop your knees, come all the way down to the floor. Untuck your toes, so tops of the feet on the floor. Press your hips into the floor. Inhale, lift your heart space, coming into that baby cobra. And then exhale, come back down, lift up into tabletop. On your inhale, readjust your limbs so that they're stacked. And then tuck your toes, coming up into downward dog. Look back towards the feet. Find that alignment for your downward dog. Push your mat forward with the hands. Lift up out of your shoulders. Imagine that someone's gently pulling your hips. So they've got your hands around they've got their hands around your hips and they're pulling the hips up away from the hands. Look forward once again, come up onto your tippy toes. So you are creating more space for your legs to be able to step forward. Come to the top of your mat when you're ready. And then once you arrive, take that flat back position. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees, relax your head. Inhale, rise all the way up, take your palms with them. And then take your hands in front of your heart center and alongside your hips. So one more time. Inhale, take the hands up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, find your plank. Take a breath in. Then drop all the way down to the ground. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders away from the front of your mat. Elbows tucked in as you lift your heart space on your inhale. And then exhale, come back down. Inhale for tabletop. Exhale for downward dog. 3 breaths here in downward dog. Keep bending the knees. Keep trying to bring your tummy towards your thighs. Your rib cage towards the knees, your heart space towards the toes. And we look back in that direction because this is where the heart space is going. Perfect. Last breath. Come up onto the tippy toes, look forward this time. Just step your right foot forward in between the hands. And we're going to completely flatten the left foot onto the floor so that it turns out towards the left side of our mat. When we're looking at the feet, the right foot is facing forward and the left foot is completely turned in the opposite direction. So, bending through that front knee, press through the feet, inhale to rise. Warrior two, right hand forward in the same direction as our right foot is facing, and then the left arm comes back towards the back of our mat. Feet look like an L shape, and they're in the same line. The two heels are more or less in the same line. This is an open position with the hips. So our hips are open towards the side of our mat. Closed position are when our hips are facing the front of your mat or in line with the front of the mat. So all the next poses are going to be open hip positions. Look over your right middle finger for warrior two. Bend through your right knee a little bit more. Perfect. From here, we're going to take our elbow down towards the right knee. Lift your left hand to the sky, breathing in. And then option to stay here with your left hand to the sky, or on your next exhalation, we're bringing the left arm over the left ear, just like we had in our seated side bend. You can see if you can bring the bend a little bit more into that front knee. And our drishti, so this focal point, is either up towards the left thumb or up towards the ceiling underneath the left arm. One more breath like this. Well done. And then look down towards your right big toe, press through the feet, inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale here. Straighten your right leg. Trikonasana or triangle pose. You can either keep the distance between your legs or bring the left foot a little bit closer to the right. So just one wiggle, one toe heel forward. Open your arms out again if you drop them. Imagine that you've got a rope tied around your waist and the rope is pulling your waist backwards, just the waist. So this subtle movement through the hips. And then there's another string attached to our fingers and they're pulling us forward. So our hips go away from where the hands are going. Drop your right hand down towards your shin, your left hand up towards the sky. Look up towards the left thumb if it's okay for your balance to do so, or somewhere on the ground is perfect as well. Sometimes our neck doesn't feel that comfortable when you're looking up as well, so any pose that requires you to look up and it doesn't feel good on your neck today, so some days can be different to others, just look down, it's perfect. Down towards your right big toe or somewhere else on the ground as well. With this Trikonasana, sometimes our hips want to move backwards. Try not to let that happen. We're bringing our hips forward towards the left side of our mat, and where we're looking to feel it is here in the left side body. If you feel like you've got a bit more space or if there's no sensation in the side body, notice what your hips are doing. If your bum is pressing backwards, bring it forward. Notice what your chest is doing. Sometimes it's inclined to face downwards with the arm up. We're trying to bring our left shoulder back and our heart space tries to turn upwards towards the sky. So we can use the hand on that right leg to do that. And if you still don't feel anything in your left side body from here, maybe you just need to bring your right hand down a little bit more towards the ground or towards that right foot. Let's come out of it. Look down towards your right big toe, press through the feet, inhale to rise. And then take your hands to frame your front foot, step back into a plank, breathing in. We've done the next few moves before. Exhale, find the ground with your tummy, with your chest, with your legs, untuck your toes. Inhale, come into your baby cobra. And then exhale for tabletop. Take a breath in. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Find your breath, bend your knees, push your hips away from your hands. One more breath like this. Look forward, come up onto your tippy toes, step your left foot forward this time in between the hands. Maybe you use the hand to help you bring the left foot forward a little bit more. And then coming into that warrior two. So the right foot plants itself onto the floor, bend your left knee, press through the feet so your hands get a little bit lighter as you come all the way up, and open your hips this time towards the right side. So this time we look over the left middle finger, bending through the left knee. So more or less with the alignment, our left knee is over the left ankle. So we want to stack the joints one on top of the other. We're opening our hands as if someone's pulling the hands away from each other. Our feet are really firm, planted into the ground. You're trying to push your feet away from each other towards the front and back of the mat. And we'll stay here. Well done. From here, our side angle pose. Bend your left elbow, bring the arm down towards the left knee without putting too much pressure in it. And especially keep an eye on the distance between your left shoulder and the left ear. You'll notice that sometimes you shrug into it or slouch down into it so that the left shoulder ends up connecting or being really close to that left ear. So try and push into the elbow, lift up out of the shoulder as well. Right hand can come into the sky, take a breath in, and maybe we take the right arm over the right ear as well. Look up underneath the arm or down towards the ground, whichever feels the best. Keep bending through that left knee to bring your hips down towards the floor a little bit more. Press through the feet. Not too much weight into that left elbow. See if you can press mostly through the legs. And then look down towards your left big toe. Press through the feet. Inhale to rise. Come back into your warrior two, looking over your left middle finger just for a moment. And then we start to straighten into that left leg. So option to keep your feet as they are, or if you want to close the gap a little bit more, we're bringing the right foot, wiggling it forward. So again, with the string, it's pulling our hips backwards. So start to create that movement. Imagine that someone's pulling your hips backwards. And then the left hand starts to move forward. Left hand finds the left shin somewhere, or it might be on your left thigh. And then the right hand comes up towards the sky. Triangle pose. Turn your chest up towards the sky. Find that opening in your right side body. Maybe we glide the left hand down the left leg without it changing anything in the upper body or in the lower body as well. One more breath here. And then look down towards your left big toe. Press through the feet. Inhale to rise. And exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Step back into a plank. Take a breath in once you arrive. Exhale, coming all the way down to the floor. Untuck your toes, tops of the feet on the ground. Inhale, lift your heart space. Exhale for downward dog. So if you want, you can come, as we were doing before, through your tabletop position and then finding downward facing dog. If you come straight up from the ground into downward facing dog, you might find that you need to readjust your feet, because sometimes in plank it's a different alignment that we need for downward facing dog. So you can adjust your feet, maybe you bring them a little bit more forward, bend your knees, push your hips away from your hands. Find your breath. And then let's start those poses on the other side again. So this time we're going to move a little bit faster with our breath. Look forward, come up onto your tippy toes, step your right foot forward, turn your left foot out towards the side for warrior two. Press through the feet, inhale to rise. Left arm back, right hand forwards. Exhale, sink down through the hips, looking over your right middle finger. Right arm comes down towards the right knee, left arm to the sky, inhale. Exhale, left arm comes over the left ear. Looking up underneath the left arm. Look down towards your right big toe. Inhale, press up. Straighten your right leg. Exhale here. Inhale, reach the right arm forward. Exhale, right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Triangle. Look down towards your right big toe, press up, inhale, and then exhale for plank. Take a breath in plank. Exhale to travel down. Untuck your toes, inhale to lift your heart space. Exhale for downward facing dog. Three breaths here. Left side, look up towards the front of your mat, come up onto your tippy toes, step your left foot forward, swivel on your back foot, bend your left knee, inhale for warrior two. Exhale, bend through your left knee, sink down through your hips. One full inhale, one full exhale here. Left elbow, left knee, right hand to the sky, take a breath in. Side angle pose, maybe your right arm comes over your right ear on your exhale. One full breath in and out. Look down towards your left big toe, press through the feet, inhale to rise. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Maybe we wiggle the right foot a little bit closer. Inhale, reach the left hand forward. Exhale, left hand connects with your left leg, right hand to the sky. Look down towards your left big toe. Inhale, press through the feet, come up. And then exhale, take your hands to the ground, step back into your plank. Inhale here first. Exhale, lower down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, find your back bend, baby cobra. And then exhale, coming into your tabletop position. And then we're going to come to sit on your bum. So you can just bring your feet towards the front of your mat, sit bones on the floor, and take your cushion underneath your sit bones. So we want to have the sensation that we're coming forward off the cushion. So it's a little bit easier to fold when our hips are rotated in this way in our favor. So you can have a bend in your knees. Maybe you'd like to roll up your blanket and just pop it underneath the backs of your knees. We're going to start either with our hands next to our hips or up towards the sky, breathing in to encourage this lifting sensation through the spine. Our feet, our heels are firmly planted in the floor with our toes upwards towards the ceiling. So not relaxed and not forward, upwards towards the sky. Take another breath in here. Exhale, reach forward. So reaching as far as they'll go, and then drop your hands either down next to your heels, onto your ankles, somewhere on your shins, or your big toes. So you'll take your two peace fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, around the big toe, and then we'll stay here. So our heart space is leading the way. The heart space is coming in the direction of our big toes, and this will encourage this straightness, this lengthening in the spine. So it's as if your heart space wants to move upwards. The spine is directing upwards, and then to get our fold, our tummy is leading the way. So think about your abdominal muscles helping you to sandwich the 2 points together between the thighs and the tummy. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. And then let's start to walk our hands back towards us. You can keep your right leg straight, start to bend your left knee, bring the left knee down to the ground. If you have another cushion available, you can pop it underneath the side of your left leg. The left foot is connected to the inside of that right thigh. Take both hands again on either side of your right leg or upwards towards the ceiling to encourage that length, breathing in. Exhale, reach forward. Hold on to the right foot or the right ankle or the right calf. And our heart space is leading the way again. So our heart space is trying to lift upwards, our spine lengthening upwards. And then once we found that length, tummy coming down towards the right thigh. Our drishti here is our right big toe. So keep an eye on that. And we're still thinking about how our core muscles can help us move closer towards that right leg. Start to walk your hands backwards. Perfect. This time, swap sides. So left leg straightens, right knee bends. Drop your right knee down to the ground with your right foot connected to your inner thigh. Both hands on either side of that left leg or up towards the ceiling, breathing in. Exhale, reach forward. Relax your shoulders. Heart space coming towards that left big toe. And then exhale, tummy coming down towards your left thigh. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Last breath here. You can start to walk your hands back towards you, sitting up nice and tall through the spine, and then both feet are going to connect with each other for butterfly pose. So I'm just going to turn so I'm facing towards you. You can stay as you are, facing the top of your mat. We're going to still stay seated on our cushion, feet together, soles of the feet together. You can either hold onto your shins or interlace your fingers in front of your toes. And then with the knees, sometimes it's a little bit uncomfortable to have them just hanging here. If you have more cushions, you're just going to pop them underneath the knees or underneath the sides of your thighs. Inhale, lifting up through the heart center again, so find that length. And then with that length intact, we're going to lean forward. So heart space is coming forward this time, tummy coming down towards your feet. You can relax your shoulders, maybe gently pressing your elbows into your calves or into the insides of your thighs. And there is the option available to you, if you'd like to take it, of walking your hands forward. So whatever feels the best for you today. We can think about the strength of our legs, opening the hips, so we're bringing our knees towards the ground. And then let's start to come back up. Take your hands on either side of your knees, bring the knees together, and then roll onto your back, taking your knees into your chest. Let's just start rocking from side to side, massaging through your back body. From here, we can drop our feet towards the ground, hip width distance apart. Your hands are going to be next to your hips as well, palms flat on the floor. To start to press your shoulders down into the ground and your feet down into the ground as well, until you feel that your hips are starting to lift off the floor. So then go ahead, lift your hips up towards the sky. We're going to keep our shoulders pressed downwards towards the ground. So the front of our hips, our tummy, our heart space lifts upwards towards the sky. You're trying to push your feet into the mat as if you're trying to push your mat forward. Find your drishti on the sky or on the ceiling. Stay with your breath. Try to keep your knees from moving outwards. Keep them in, firm and strong, so that the glutes can stabilize this pose. And then let's bring our hips back down to the ground. Open your arms out to the side. Scoot your bum over towards the right side. Drop your knees down towards the left side. So find this spinal twist. You can bring your left hand onto the outside of your knees. And then either we're looking up towards the sky or over the right fingertips or over that right shoulder. And relax into it. Well done. We'll start to come up with the knees back to center. Scoot your hips this time over towards the left side and then drop the knees down towards the right side nice and slowly. Maybe you're taking your hand this time onto the outside of your left knee. You can look over your left shoulder or up towards the sky here as well. Think about bringing your left shoulder away from the hips and your knees away from the hips too. And then from here, take your knees back up towards the sky. Hug your knees into your chest one last time. You can hold on to the backs of the thighs or the fronts of your shins. Lift your head up towards the knees. Maybe blow the knees a kiss or kiss the knees. And then we'll drop down all the way into our Shavasana. So if you have a blanket and you'd like to pop it over you, now is the perfect time to do that. You can also take a couple of cushions underneath the backs of your knees. Maybe we're opening our arms out wide to the side or bringing one hand over our heart, one hand over our tummy. And then definitely closing your eyes. So we're embracing these last few moments of our class together. Inviting this softness, this grounding, this relaxation, and this peace to come through the whole body. And there's nothing left for you to do. So I recommend staying here for as long as you want. 3, 5, maybe even 7 minutes. Fully surrendering and letting go. Shavasana means corpse pose, and it's really just finding this time to process and integrate what we've learned in our class, in our practice, and our movements with our breath. So stay here for as long as you want, as long as you need, as long as you can today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in our next class together.